Do you know the most common mistake amateur runners make? That is train hard or stay home. I know this is a little bit radical case. Usually, train hard or jog is the most common mistake amateur runners make. In other words, a lot of runners underestimate or simply miss how effective moderate runs are. Today, I'm going to explain you what moderate runs are and why they are so effective. Moderate runs are endurance runs with moderate effort. It is not easy, but it is not hard. My definition is very clear and simple. Moderate runs are the fastest running to the extent that your blood lactic acid level does not go up, meaning not higher than 2 millimoles, or you do not hear your breathing. Other indicators are approximately 80% of your maximal heart rate or 40 to 60 seconds slower per kilometer than your 5,000 meter race pace. But it's a bit different between beginners and also well-trained runners. Basically, the higher level you are at, the less seconds between your 5,000 meter race pace to moderate run pace. For example, if you are able to run 5,000 meter 15 minutes sharp, then it would be 50 seconds per kilometer difference between moderate run pace and 5,000 meter race pace. While if you are able to run 5,000 meter 25 minutes sharp, then probably there is 1.5 minutes between 5,000 meter race pace and your moderate running pace. I don't know what it is happened. Simply because lack of endurance ability. I think so. I think the more endurance ability you get, then the closer your moderate running pace is to your 5,000 meter race pace. Anyway, so again, my definition is very much easy. It's not easy, it's not hard, and your blood lactic acid level does not go up more than 2 millimole, and you do not hear your breathing. That's a moderate run. Other coaches call this type of workouts also medium runs, or some coaches define moderate runs or medium runs are approximately 70 to 80% of your maximal heart rate running. And I'm not against that because it is better to run a little bit too slow than run too fast. However, my definition of moderate runs are the fastest pace without feeling hard. Here's why. First, for me, moderate runs are not recovery running, but training. Many coaches and top runners use moderate runs for recovering from hard workouts. For this purpose, you need to run 70 to 75% of your maximal heart rate pace, approximately. In other words, some coaches and athletes use moderate runs for recovery and training at the same time. So, a little bit faster than easy runs, but still a little bit slower than my moderate runs. If the first priority is recovery, I'm not against this idea at all. However, I use moderate runs for training. The reason is the slower you are, or the further you are from your potential performance, or the more you are a beginner, you will get faster by using easy runs and moderate runs. And most runners I coach now are amateur runners. In other words, not top runners. It is very difficult to improve your marathon time from 2:10 to 2:08. In this level, you hardly improve your performance by increasing the number of moderate runs or easy runs. Still, it could be possible, but it does not play a big role anymore. While if you are a 4 hours marathoner, you can improve your time from 4 hours to sub 3 hours by doing lots of easy runs and moderate runs dramatically. It's possible. Do you think that a 5,000 meter 15 minutes runner is fast? Probably. Your answer is yes. I'm not sure. Probably. He's so fast for amateur runners who work 40 hours a week. However, if he's still 30s, he can improve this time a lot by doing moderate runs. Considering male human beings' genes, running 5,000 meters 60 minutes is not so fast. And also, this is a very important idea that you can maintain your fitness level by doing only moderate runs and some easy speed workouts. My personal best time of half marathon, 63 minutes or 9 seconds. 9 seconds. For me, it was not easy at all to run half marathon 63 minutes. I sacrificed so many things in my life for achieving that. However, once I reached there, I ran half marathon 64 minutes to 65 minutes several times by doing only moderate runs and short fast track, like 20 to 25 times 1 minute fast and 1 minute slow. In other words, I ran half marathon 64 to 65 minutes without any hard workouts. This is a very important thing when you are so busy for your work, or when you are tired or not willing to do a hard workout, or when you are coming back from a break, like an injury break. So there is a big difference. Some coaches and athletes use moderate runs when they want to recover from hard workouts, but still want to add a little bit aerobic stimulus. And I use moderate runs for training instead of doing hard workouts. You need to think these two things separately. Never compare these completely different ideas. And again, the reason why I use moderate runs for training is if you have never run marathon under 2:30 for men and 2:45 for women, you can improve your time dramatically by doing more moderate runs. Another reason is, most runners I coach work 40 to 50 hours a week and have a kid or kids. They cannot have mega time for running and concentrate on running as much as professional runners do. Imagine, if you are a professional runner and earn more than the average, what does your wife do? Yes, she supports you so much. On the other hand, what if you are a normal worker who earns around the average income, have 2 kids, and run every day after work and at weekends? What does your wife do? Many wives try to ask husbands' security numbers of their credit cards and bank accounts and then kill their husbands. Does that make sense? So, I need to avoid that situation. That's why I needed to think about workouts that they can do relatively easy and effective. From that point of view, combining a little bit longer easy runs, moderate runs, and supplemental speed workouts is the best idea. This is not what I think, but the truth, which comes from my experiences as a coach. You don't need any hard workouts at all. Well, you still need hard workouts to reach at your potential performance. But understand that 70 to 80% of your improvement comes from non-hard workouts. Also, I use an idea of periodization. Periodization is changing what you focus on according to which period you are in now. For example, in the fundamental period, you focus on absolutely moderate runs. This is the most important thing in the fundamental period. While in the specific period, you better focus on race-specific workouts. For example, when you are preparing for a 5,000 meter race, 5 times 1,000 meter with 1 minute jogging recovery at your goal 5,000 meter race pace is one of the most specific workout in your preparation. Another example, when you are preparing for a full marathon, 40K at 90% of your race pace is one of the most specific workouts in your preparation. I used an idea periodization. In other words, the further you are from your target race, your next target race, you focus on moderate runs, and the closer to your target race, your next target race, you better focus on specific workouts. Also, the less you have run in your whole life, you better focus on moderate runs. And the more you have run in your whole life, you better focus on specific workouts. For example, most runners I coach have less than 5 years experience as a runner and run around 300 kilometers a month. The total mileage of their whole lives is not so many. They can improve much by doing moderate runs. While I have been running for 20 years, I consistently run around 600 kilometers a month since I was 15 years old, and often run more than 1,000 kilometers a month. I have done lots of moderate runs in my whole life. At this level, it is more difficult to improve my time by doing moderate runs. Obviously, I need more intense workouts to improve my time than the beginner. But don't misunderstand, moderate runs still play a big role for building or maintaining my base. I still do moderate runs. First of all, I'm working around 60 hours a week, sometimes more. When I'm too tired to go for intense workouts, I do moderate runs. Second, moderate runs play a big role to maintain my aerobic base. Getting something and maintaining it are completely different. If you are married, you'd know that, right? Getting a spouse and maintaining a good relationship with a spouse are different things, right? Third, sometimes I get injured or sick, and when I'm coming back from a break, moderate runs play a big role. Most of my improvement after a break comes from moderate runs and easy runs. And here's a question. How long moderate runs should be? It's depending on your fitness level, of course. In terms of intensity, there are easy, moderate, and hard. Also, in terms of volume, there are short, moderate, and long. What is a moderate volume for you? That is the average volume that you are able to run without any problems. For example, you run 300 kilometers a month regularly without having any problems. Running is a part of your life. You love running, and if you do not run, you feel like you do not brush your teeth or you miss a meal. Then 10K a day is your moderate volume. Probably 6K is your short run, and 15K or longer than 15K runs are your long runs. Increasing your moderate volume in the fundamental period is also a key of success. However, if your goal is running sub 250 for male and 305 for female, 300 kilometers a month is enough many. It should not be so difficult. Of course, it depends on your lifestyle though. While if your goal is running a full marathon sub 210, at least you need to run 600 kilometers a month and often more than 1,000 kilometers a month. Anyway, you see how the improvement comes from increasing the number and volumes of easy runs, easy to moderate runs, and moderate runs. The best way of increasing your total mileage is increasing the number and volume of easy runs. You cannot increase your mileage by doing more intense workouts. Our bodies are designed in that way. I can explain why it is physiologically. However, I don't know why God designed our bodies in that way. Maybe it's because our gods were not the king of a car, Henry Ford. Once I heard a story that Henry Ford and a god met in the heaven, and Henry Ford said to the god, "Women, which you created, have a lot of faults, have a lot of problems." And God answered, "Well, but what I created are loved by men much more than what you created." Our bodies are not able to run as fast and long as what Henry Ford created. But yes, that is true. Anyway, how long moderate runs should be depending on what is the moderate volume and which race you are preparing. A general guideline is 30 to 40 minutes daily basis and 90 to 120 minutes, 2 hours, 2 to 4 times a month. So once a week or once in every 2 weeks. And also here's another question, how often you should do moderate runs? It depends on which period you are in. When you are in the fundamental period, you better do moderate runs 3 to 4 times a week. And remember, most improvement comes from the fundamental period. That is the definition of fundamental, right? Fundamental ability, right? Your fundamental performance is determined by the fundamental ability. Or I would say your performance is determined by your basic ability. That's why basic ability is called basic ability, right? It's a base of your performance. So basically doing moderate runs 3 to 4 times a week is a good idea in the fundamental period. And the harder workouts you do, the less chances you have to do moderate runs to adjust the total training load over a week or month. Once you start doing hard workouts, you better focus on maintaining your moderate ability. To achieve this, I recommend you decrease the frequency of moderate runs or do easy to moderate runs, which some coaches and athletes call moderate runs. My definition of easy to moderate runs are very simple. You start running with easy pace, and according to your feeling, you increase the pace up to moderate pace. I also like this workout because it is easy enough and fun enough at the same time. I'll just give you an example. You do a 10K easy to moderate run. You start running with 6 minutes per kilometer pace, and as you warm your body up, you increase your pace. And the last 1 kilometer, 5 minutes per kilometer pace. The average pace was 5:30 per kilometer, and your average heart rate was 75% of your maximal heart rate. This is a kind of easy to moderate run. So, this is all about moderate runs. I hope this video helps you a lot. Lastly, if you want to learn more how to get faster, please click the link below to download my free ebook. There are 3 factors you get faster dramatically without any injuries and overtraining. It will help you so much. Thank you for your listening to my video.
我は嵐し我が敵は我が身に潜む臆病像これに打ち勝つ我が筒は心に秘めたる国旗心国旗の心を持つ者はなどて恐るることやある鬼人に恥じぬ勇持ちて我らはいかん心して立つ時こそは今なるぞ人に遅れて恥かくないざますら音なるまでは走れや走れ者ともに滴る汗を光らせてなどてたゆとことやある白血戦に鉄より固き心持つ修繕この肩すかれたる大和のこの今さらにまた世に出る身の誉れ嵐しここに集いたり叩き心のいい鉄に嵐し魂あるものの時こそ来たれれいか一歩も後に引くなかれいざますら音なるまでは走れや走れ者ともに滴る汗を光らせてなどてたゆのことやる前を望めば苦難なり右も左もまた苦難み空の月を見上げては七難八苦を望むのも我らが力試すため常に前へと意地を見せん闘魂もゆる荒獅子の気をここに今見よや人生意気に感じては聖碑を誰かあげつらういざますら音なるまでは走れや走れ者ともに滴る汗を光らせて などてたゆとこ